Right students, good morning everybody. So the last two parts we completed complex numbers introduction and as well as what is I and I exponents are all we discussed the last class. Now we will go through operations of complex number. What is meant by operations? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So if two complex numbers, how to add, how to subtract, how to multiply and how to divide, that we will learn in the present class. Now algebraic operations of complex number or algebra of a complex number or operation of a complex number. Right students, algebra of a complex numbers or operation of a complex numbers. So we have the four types of operation: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. How to add two complex number? First we will go through the sum of a complex numbers. Let Z1 and Z2 are be the two complex numbers named as Z1 is equal to A plus IB, Z2 is equal to C plus IB. So this is one complex number Z1, this is second complex number Z2. We are going to add these two. Addition means or sum means we are taking as Z1 plus Z2. How to add the two complex numbers? Very simple. In this complex number, this is real part. In this complex number, this is real part. Sum of two real parts, that means A plus C plus I times of sum of two imaginary parts. Once again students, Z1 is a complex number, Z2 is another complex number. We are going to add or sum of these two complex numbers is equal to sum of the real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary parts. This is real part A, this is also real part C, A plus C plus I times of sum of imaginary parts, so B plus D. For example, I will explain with numerical example. Z1 is equal to 2 plus 3i, Z2 is equal to 1 plus I. Now we are going to add Z1 plus Z2. In this real part 2, Z1 real part is 2, Z2 real part is 1. 2 plus 1 plus I times of imaginary part of Z1 is 3, imaginary part of Z2 is 1. So now we are getting 2 plus 1 3, 3 plus 1 4, so you will get as 4i. So like this we are going to add a complex numbers. Any 2 or 3 or 4, whatever it may be, all the complex numbers always you are going to like that. Understood students? Now by checking this sum of two complex numbers is again a complex number. Is it correct or not? Correct students? Right. Now we will go to the properties of complex numbers under addition. Properties of complex numbers under addition. While adding, what are the properties it follows? Already you learnt in the lower classes: closure property, associative property, commutative property, law of identity, law of inverse under addition. Correct or not? We have to once again check all the properties can obey or not. First one, we will discuss about closure. What is meant by closure property? The lower classes you learn, if any two natural numbers, if any two real numbers, if you take their sum is also a real number, then it satisfied closure. Like that, if you take any two complex numbers, their sum is also a complex number. Already we showed here. If two complex numbers sum again is a complex number, then it obeys the closure law. Once again I'll repeat, closure means if you picking two numbers at a particular set, it may be a natural number, it may be a whole numbers, it may be a integers, it may be a rational number, it may be a irrational number, it may be a real numbers, it may be a imaginary numbers, it may be a complex numbers. You are picking two numbers at a particular set, their sum is also again the same set. That means you are picking two natural number, result also natural number, their sum also natural number. If two numbers are in real, their sum is also real. If two numbers are integers, their sum is also integer. If two numbers are complex numbers, their sum is also complex numbers. If they satisfied this condition, then closure law is satisfied. So you can see that two complex number sum is always a complex number, hence closure property, hence complex numbers sum is a closure property. Right, we are going to write sum of any two complex numbers again a complex number. Z1 plus Z2 is belongs to Z1 plus Z2 is equal to some complex number you will get again, where Z1 comma Z2 is belongs to complex number system. Here C represents complex numbers. So closure law satisfied. Now we are going to check the commutative law. You know very well what is commutative law in algebra. Algebra means in real numbers. A plus B is equal to B plus A. Let A and B are any two real numbers. They satisfied A plus B is equal to B plus A. It is called commutative under addition. Suppose A into B is equal to B into A. It is also commutative under multiplication. Now we are going to check Z1, Z2 are complex numbers, not real numbers, because real numbers always satisfied commutative. Now we are checking the complex numbers whether follows commutative or not. Right. Let Z1 and Z2 are be the any two complex numbers, such that Z1 plus Z2 is equal to Z2 plus Z1, where Z1 comma Z2 is belongs to the complex numbers. Now this condition they satisfied, we will say that they are complex numbers, they are satisfy the commutative law. Just we will explain with an example. See here, let Z1 is equal to 1 minus I, Z2 is equal to 3 plus I. Now we are going to check as LHS. LHS is Z1 plus Z2. Z1 value is 1 minus I plus Z2 value is 3 plus I. Just now I told how to add sum of two complex numbers. How to add two complex numbers. Sum of real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary parts. In this real part is 1, in this real part is 3. So sum of real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary parts. In this imaginary part, this value is minus 1. In this imaginary part, this value is plus 1. So 1 plus 3 is 4 plus I into minus 1 plus 1 is 0. We can write as 4. 4 is a complex number. Beginningly 1 2 parts I explained detailed. But in this complex number, the imaginary part is 0. That's why it is called as a purely real number. Right. Now I will check the RHS. What is RHS? Z2 plus Z1. The same complex numbers, we will interchange it. First we will write Z. 3 plus I plus 1 minus I. Now again the same rule. Sum of two complex numbers, sum of real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary parts. Real parts are 3 plus 1 plus I times of imaginary part is 1 minus 1. I think you understood. 3 plus 1 is 4 plus I into 0, that is nothing but 4. Now LHS is equal to RHS. So Z1 plus Z2 is equal to Z2 plus Z1 will satisfy the complex numbers. Hence complex numbers obeys the commutative law. Clear, students? We completed commutative law. Now we will go through the associative law. You are familiar with associative law. What is meant by associative law? In algebra, that particularly we will take as a real numbers. Let ABC or any three real numbers, they have to satisfy A plus of B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. Taken the same numbers ABC only, their bracket positions are different. Here first two numbers there is a bracket, here last two numbers there is a bracket. If they are satisfying these two conditions, then we will agree that it is associative. Already we proved in the lower classes, real numbers satisfy the associative property. Now we have to check the complex numbers may satisfy or not. Let Z1, Z2, Z3, let Z1, Z2, Z3 are be the any three complex numbers such that Z1 plus Z2 of plus Z3, that is equal to Z1 plus of Z2 plus Z3. So where Z1, Z2, Z3 belongs to complex numbers. Here C represents complex numbers. These three are belongs to a complex number. They must obey this rule also. So generally complex numbers is also satisfy the associative law. I will explain with an example. Example, Z1 is equal to 2 plus I, Z2 is equal to 3 plus 2I, Z3 is equal to 4 plus I. These are the three complex numbers. Now we are going to check left hand side is equal to right hand side or not. So left hand side is here Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. Whenever given like this, first we have to simplify the bracket value. What is bracket value here? Z1 plus Z2. Z1 value known here 2 plus I plus Z2 value known here 3 plus 2I. So we want to add these two. Addition of complex numbers, sum of real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary parts. Here real parts are 2, 3, 2 plus 3 plus I times of imaginary part means I coefficient is 1, here 2. So we can write it is 5 plus 3I. This is nothing but Z1 plus Z2. But actually we need Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. That equal to Z1 plus Z2 is 5 plus 3I plus Z3 value is 4 plus I. Now again you are going to check the sum of real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary parts. So the real parts are 5 plus 4 plus I times of imaginary parts are 3 plus 1. You will get 9 plus 4I. This is LHS. Now we have to check the RHS. What is RHS? Z1 plus of Z2 plus Z3. Now we have to simplify the bracket value. What is the bracket value here? Z2 plus Z3. Simplify the Z2 plus Z3. 3 plus 2I plus of 4 plus I. So this is Z2 and this is Z3. Addition of two complex numbers is equal to sum of real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary parts. So 7 plus 3I. So this is Z2 plus Z3, but actually we need Z1 plus of Z2 plus Z3. Z1 is already given here, 2 plus I plus of Z2 plus Z3. Just now we proved 7 plus 3I. Now we can simplify again sum of two complex numbers, sum of real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary part. So you will get 9 plus 4I, which is equal to RHS. You can check the LHS and RHS, they are equal. Hence we can say that always complex numbers is also satisfy the associative law. Here you remember the students, sir, adding 3 plus 2I plus 4 plus I. We can add direct itself also, no problem in that. So this is 3 and this is 4, 3 plus 4, 7 plus I is in here 2 times, I is in one time, totally I is in 3 times. Like that also we can add. But why we are saying particularly sum of real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary parts means because when it is getting a fractions, it is difficult to go direct adding. That's why we will go through excuse me, according to the problem, sum of real parts plus I times of sum of imaginary parts. So we completed the associative law. So complex numbers are satisfied the associative law. Now we will calculate the existence of inverse, additive inverse. Existence of additive inverse. Inverse means you know very well. The inverse also two types, additive inverse, multiplicative inverse. The same time associative law under addition means we are using with plus symbol. If under multiplication means we will use the product symbol, Z1 into Z2, Z3. That time I will explain. When the multiplication of complex number is also commutative will be there, associative will be there, existence of identity will be there, existence of inverse will be there. That time I will explain detailed. So these are all commutative, associative, existence of identity, existence of inverse under addition only. Now existence of identity inverse. Now additive identity, not inverse. After that we will go inverse. Additive identity. So this is called law of identity. In algebra, you know very well, let A be a real number. By adding what number you will get again A. Is there exist any number here? Yes, there exists a 0. So this 0 is called as a additive identity. This law is called law of identity. Understood, students? So we are picking one real number. There exists another real number such that a plus 0 is equal to a or 0 plus a is equal to a. This is also must be a real number if it is a real number. Like that, if any real number exists, then it is called law of identity. That existing real number is called additive identity. So this is already real numbers true. Now we are going to check as complex numbers. How to check in complex number? There exists a complex number there exists a complex number 0 plus I into 0 read as 0 is a complex number exist as additive identity or identity element such that z plus 0 is equal to 0 plus z is equal to z for all z is belongs to complex number. Once again I will repeat the students. There exists a complex number. One complex number should exist. How it exists? You are consider one complex number z. For that z, we are adding a complex number or that complex number adding with a z. Again you are getting the z only. This is called law of identity. This 0 as a additive identity. Clear students? It is called additive identity. This total law is called law of identity. Now we have to check that this 0 is in complex number system. Yes, I told beginning itself 0 real part of complex number also 0, imaginary part of complex number 0. That's why it is called purely both real and imaginary. Both purely real and imaginary number. Why? Because its real part is 0, imaginary part is 0. That's why we express it as 0 plus I into 0. So a plus ib format. So it is a complex number. That only I told. Law of identity means if you pick one particular number in a particular set. Let I am picking z is from complex number. There exists another complex number. Their sum must be equal to again z. Yes, it is possible. That's why law of identity is exist here. Clear students? Now we will go through this is the fourth property. Next the fifth one is law of inverse, law of additive inverse. In algebra, real numbers, you know what is additive inverse. Let I am taking one real number a, adding with some other real number, you should get the 0. Is exist any real number? Yes. The same number with opposite sign. It is a real number, it is also a real number. Their sum must be 0. Such kind of properties are called as law of inverse. Clear students? So it is exist in real numbers. Now we are going to check it is in complex number. Suppose let z is equal to a plus ib. There exist minus z. Yes, negative of a complex number. Minus z or negative of a complex number. Minus of a plus ib, which is equal to minus a minus ib. Clear students? Such that z plus of minus z plus of z, which is equal to 0. One complex number will be there. You can take negative of a complex number or minus z, their sum, or negative of a complex number and the complex number sum becomes 0 for all z belongs to complex number system. So it is also exist law of inverse. So law of additive inverse, because all these are in addition. The rules are the properties are we are discussing only the addition. So you remember it, So addition of properties of addition of a complex number, they satisfy closure, they satisfy commutative, they satisfy associative, they satisfy identity, they satisfy inverse. Clear, students? Right. One important point is in real numbers, this is very important point. In real numbers, root over minus a, root over a into root over b is equal to root over ab. It will be satisfied. This is in real numbers. You know very well. Whereas, if you take these numbers, these are not real numbers. Correct or not? These are imaginary numbers. But we cannot write this is root over minus a into root over minus b is equal to root over ab is false statement. They never equal. But under root minus a into under root minus b is equal to minus of root over ab. So this is the very important point. How it becomes? I will check it. Root over minus a we can written as root over a into minus 1. Root a into root over minus 1. I can write root a into root over minus 1 treated as iota. Now, like root over minus b is equal to root over b into minus 1, which is equal to root b into root over minus 1 root b into I. So now root over minus a into root over minus b equal to root a into I into root b into I. So now I can multiply I into I, which is equal to I square. Root a into root b is equal to root over ab. I square value is minus 1 into root over ab, that is nothing but root over minus ab. So this is very important property. Under root over minus a into under root minus b is minus of under root ab, not this. You remember this. Complex numbers, it will be satisfied. It is under real numbers we will satisfy.